Man, Will Smith just can't seem to stay out of the spotlight, can he? First, he drops this new freestyle that, well, it got everyone talking. Then he posts a concert video with a totally bizarre AI-generated crowd. The last few years have been a real whirlwind for the superstar. So let's get into it. This is the story of a pop culture king, maybe, facing a crisis of relevance.
But, to really get what's happening now, we've got to go back. We have to remember where this guy came from. Because for decades, Will Smith wasn't just a star. As one commentator put it, he was an absolute legend. Think about it. The Fresh Prince, the king of the summer blockbusters, the guy with that perfect, squeaky clean image. For the longest time, he was totally untouchable.
So, here's how we're going to break down this whole story. First, we'll look at his rise from prince to king. Then, the moment it all kind of shattered. We'll get into that bounce back freestyle, talk about that weird crowd of fake fans, and then wrap it up by asking, is he freed, flawed, or just finished? All right, first up, from prince to king. Let's set the stage here because Will Smith's rise, it wasn't just a career, it was a whole cultural phenomenon. I mean, he was everywhere. Music, TV, movies. He basically defined an entire era of entertainment. And the way it happened was just staggering. I mean, in the 80s, he's already winning Grammys as a rapper. Then the 90s hit, and bam, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air makes him a global icon. And by the 2000s, he's the undisputed king of the box office. Film after film was a massive hit. He was just that guy, the guy everybody loved.
But after all those years of having this perfect public persona, that carefully built image started to get some serious cracks. And it really came down to two major events that would completely change how the world saw Will Smith.
Yeah, it kind of started back in June 2020 with that, let's just say, infamous entanglement talk on Red Table Talk. But the real point of no return, the moment everything changed, that was March 2022 at the Oscars. You know what I'm talking about. The slap heard round the world. And this quote, this is it. This is the moment. Shouting this at Chris Rock right after the slap, these words were just a shocking break from that family-friendly guy he'd been for over 3 decades. It was like the mask, as some people said, just completely came off.
And the fallout was immediate and pretty severe. It wasn't just people being mad online. The Academy itself banned him from the Oscars for 10 years, a full decade. This wasn't just some bad press. This had real, tangible career consequences.
So, with all this controversy swirling, what does he do? He pivots back to his musical roots. He drops this new freestyle, tries to frame it as his big bounce back. But his attempt to take control of the story, it didn't exactly go as planned.
Yeah, he definitely didn't shy away from what happened. This line right here from the freestyle, pretty much everyone saw it as a direct shot, a reference to the Oscars slap. It almost sounds like he's trying to justify it.
And he didn't stop there. He followed it up with this line, which, again, a lot of people took as another thinly veiled shot at Chris Rock. You can see what he's doing, right? He's using his music to try and control the narrative. The big question was, how is this going to land?
Well, the reaction was split, sharply divided. On one side, you had people like the commentators on comedy shorts who were like, that was fire, that was fucking fire. But then on the other side, you had critics like Jamari who said the music just sounded very, very outdated. He even compared it to watching your favorite athlete just get completely washed up. Ouch. Okay, so just when you think things couldn't get any weirder, just as the dust is kind of settling on the freestyle, an even stranger story pops up. One critic called what happened next a perpetual humiliation ritual of his own making. Will Smith's promotional tour took a very bizarre turn into AI. So he's promoting his tour, and his official channel posts this video. But people with sharp eyes started noticing something was really off with the crowd. The cheering fans, a huge part of it was completely fake, generated by AI. And we're not talking about some subtle, well-done AI here. No. The results were just bizarre. People described the AI fans as morphing into an amorphous blob. They spotted figures that looked like a Neanderthal with his arms pumped up. There was even a woman who looked like she had 45 different hands. I mean, it was just deeply unsettling and so obviously fake. So this just led everyone to ask the same obvious question. Why? I mean, why would one of the biggest stars on the planet, a guy who has sold out arenas for decades, feel the need to fake his own audience? Is it some sign of deep insecurity? Or was it just a colossal marketing screw-up?
And all of this, the slap, the freestyle, the fake crowd, it all brings us to our final section here. We're left with a completely different picture of Will Smith than we had just a few years ago. So who is the real guy behind that image? Ultimately, it seems like there are two competing theories about what we're all watching unfold. The first, which you hear on shows like Comedy Shorts, is that the slap actually freed him, that we're finally seeing the most honest, flawed version of Will Smith ever. But the other theory, put forward by critics like Penguinzo, is that his name has just become synonymous with cringe, and that he's stuck in this perpetual humiliation ritual that he created for himself. And that leaves us right here, with the big question. Is this new Will Smith a more authentic, liberated guy, finally free from the pressure of having to be perfect? Or are we just watching the slow, painful, and very public end of an era? Is the Fresh Prince's crown gone for good? Well, I guess that's for you to decide.
Did you enjoy this video? Be sure to subscribe to Room of Opinions and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.